Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the workshop. I would like to introduce Loten to you again. Today we have some new attendees. Loten is the meditation teacher. We're honored to have him here. He teaches in the Recon Institute in Switzerland and the Meditation Center and Buddhist Center across Europe. So enjoy for today's workshop. Thank you.
Buddham Sharanam Gacchami Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami Sangham Sharanam Gacchami Buddham Sharanam Gacchami Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami Sangham Sharanam Gacchami Buddham Sharanam Gacchami Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. I take refuge to Buddha. I take refuge to Dharma. And I take refuge to Sangha. Does it mean to take refuge? When we are in an ocean, first you have to know where you are going. You have to fix your aim. Otherwise, you are lost in the ocean. And in the ocean, there are lots of waves. Waves of worries, waves of fear, and waves of anxiety. in this area, in the Mediterranean area, one of the greatest civilization is the Greek civilization. And in the antique time, I was 2 weeks ago, 1 week, in Turkey, in near Bodrum, the place called Knidos, one of the most holy place for the temple of Aphrodite. Aphrodite is, in our culture, Indian culture, Saraswati, the goddess of the ocean, which comes out the wave of the ocean, because the ocean symbolizes the wisdom. And in the past, few years ago, when we was there with our yoga group, meditation group, and I felt this energy, because Knidos was one of it was the Mecca of the wisdom goddess Aphrodite. From the far islands, from Crete to other comes people once alive to see this temple. And I was shocked how the European people lost their own culture. Because Christian religion, Jewish, this is the culture of the Middle East. But European culture is the culture of the Rome, the culture of the Greece culture, and the Greece culture is closely linked with Buddhism, with the Indian culture. Because all this we call the people of the Aryans. The people from the German, the Celtic, the Slavian countries, from Russia to Serbia to Croatia. This own culture is in the past one people, which called the Aryans. And that culture is the same belief of the power of the nature of the ocean and Aphrodite. When I was 12 or 13 and living in Kathmandu in this small monastery, I used to recitate the mantra of Aphrodite, Saraswati, many times before I go to sleep. The mantra of Tara, the mantra of the wisdom God, Saraswati. So in this old culture, one of the main places was Delphi. Delphi city, where the people go to the oracle to ask their future. And it says in the gateway of this temple to Delphi, there is written a Kennedy said, know your own nature. Know your own self. If you discover yourself, then you know exactly where you like to go on the big ocean of samsara, birth and death circle. If you don't know yourself, therefore, we will, from beginning today and tomorrow, we will do a lot of rituals in the Tibetan tradition, which means in the Tibetan Tantric, Buddhist Tantric tradition. When you practice a deity, like a wisdom God, you need a empowerment. We call it Abhisheka. Abhisheka. You are empowered. Like this holy temple of Aparotita, if you like to practice the power of this goddess, like in old Egyptian, you need in the mystical tradition, the empowerment, the initiation. And we do this initiation with help of a mandala, a beautiful mandala made by sand, colored sand. Because every nature is like a mandala. Our body is made of few cells, collecting of cells. One table, the bed, all the small atoms. Collection of these atoms, it becomes something that you can see and touch. And therefore, all the small coins of small piece of sand together, it becomes a universe, something which is exists. And therefore, you use in this tradition a mandala. And this mandala is like a map. Of course, nowadays, you don't need a map, there is a GPS. But in the past time, you need a map. A mandala is like a psychological map. It shows exactly where you are and what is the aim. And the aim is to find yourself. Because before you do this Abhisheka, the master will ask you, who are you? Who are you? Chiladu, what you want? What you want? And the answer will be, I am the Buddha of the West. Which means I am the Dakini of the West. The Panda Dakini. Because there are 5 wisdom Dakinis, which is in 5 directions, east and west, like this. Mainly you say, I'm Buddha. What you want? I like to discover myself. That's what I want. And when we talk, like yesterday in the meditation, in the practice of purifying with 100 silks of mantra, we visualize on our head, on the 1,000 leaves of lotus, diamond mind Buddha. Who is diamond mind? This is our mind. Because we are all beautiful diamonds. Some people think, no, I'm weak. I'm not that powerful. I'm not intelligent enough. I'm a man. I can do not that. I'm a woman. Can I do this practice? Because I'm a woman? Or I'm old. Can I do this yoga practice? I cannot put my feet behind the ears. All these things of ego stuff. In Buddhism, in the monastery, when you say, I cannot, the teacher said, this is the expression of your high ego. Because I cannot. I cannot sing because I have a horrible voice. That's your opinion. Some people like horrible voice. We have enough singers. In Switzerland is a DJ Bobo, a horrible guy, but he's the most successful guy. And in Switzerland, we have Mike Shiva, a crazy guy. He always tells you the future. I like him, but some people think he's crazy, but he's very popular. So ego is I cannot, is don't accept. The master don't accept. Because for everything, anyway, you need a lot of patience and time. And there was a great master, Namkhen Norbu. He was teaching the Tibetan way of Vipassana. We had the theme Shamatha and Vipassana. All the meditation in Buddhism is either Shamatha or Vipassana. You can't say or, it goes together. Shamatha build, Shamatha means peace and shanti, silence of your mind. Our mind is like a lake in the mountain. If there is lots of waves, we cannot look deep in the ground of the lake. So first you need to calm down all our thoughts. When we early morning, when we get up, I tell you, you need this exercise that you learn here in Devota. How many waves of thoughts, hope, fear in the future. And if you are lost in the thoughts in the past, in future, you don't live. You don't enjoy the flower. You don't enjoy the water, which is really good. Therefore, Buddha says the only way to reach nirvana, the only path to stop the sufferings is satipatthana, the awareness, mindful meditation. Mindful means in the present moment. And if you like to be happy, if you like to develop your spiritual development, always it starts with the present moment. Always it starts with present moment. Even in the India time, in the first time of Buddha, or first years, centuries after the death of Buddha, people are remembering to Buddha through a stupa. So here we have two beautiful stupas. Because in the stupa, they put the ashes of Buddha and to remember him. Or you have in Indian culture, the footstep of Buddha. The people remember through the footstep of Buddha means Buddha was here on this earth and he did what he did. Buddha was not a magic man. You cannot go to Buddha saying, I have this, please heal. Buddha was not a healer. When we say in the Buddhist text, say Buddha, we say Temba. Temba means teacher. We used to call Buddha teacher. Why? Buddha was not a prophet. He was not a representative of a God. Because Buddha was a very simple prince. Very normal prince, like Prince Charles. Charles was very interested. My master, when he went 2 times to London, to a garden, mandala, Charles always came because he's a big fan of Tibet and Dalai Lama. And also a man, a king now who is interested in spiritual path. But he became a king. The Buddha said, no, I don't like this job. I don't like to become a king because I'm searching my inner peace. Because I'm searching my inner peace. And he was a prince in India at that time, 2,500 years ago. There was hundreds of rajas. Before the British came to India, was hundreds of rajas. And the British power did know exactly, oh, this country is divided. Because you have the emotions. The emotion of the ministers is jealousy. The emotion of the rajas, the king, is a pride. So we have a five root emotions, 5 root emotions that makes suffer. Just simple as that. Actually, if you like to understand teaching of Buddha, you have to study at least 20 years. In the monastery, they don't know holiday. There doesn't exist the words. So you study like 10 hours a day, meditation, reading like this. You need 20 years. Otherwise, you can't understand because Buddhism is not religion. So it's not enough. You believe something. You have to study, understand. And Buddha has 108 books, and he was teaching over 40 years. But you can bring the Buddhism in a simple structure. Sometimes the Buddhism is well organized like a Swiss watch. There are small things, hundreds of things, but exactly it will show exactly the seconds. And not one thing is useless. Everything has linked with the other. So, and when you look the structure, then you will understand what is the main structure of this path. Therefore, the great masters is saying, the old Loten Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Mediterranean Ocean, and all other oceans, seas in the world has one test. What is this one test? The test is salty. If you go in west, in the south, in the north, you take the water of the sea. Doesn't matter where, it has the test of salty. So, even there are hundreds of books and teachings of Buddha about different subjects. How many subjects we have in Buddhism? 10. 5 main subjects. You see the pictures, this is the art. You see the chanting and mudras. This is one subject of Buddha teaching. You see the healing, the medicine. You need to understand the world. The other astrology is one subject. You see the language because we people talk in language. Our thoughts must organize in languages. So the science of language, the linguistic, is one subject. You cannot talk if you like search inside, like a drunken man after a few beer, you have to express exactly. That means logic and dialectic. So we have 5 main subjects and five smaller subjects, otherwise 10. All these subjects, it's teaching of Buddha, not only meditation. When you dance, it's Buddha's teaching. When you move with your fingers and hands, it's Buddha's teaching. And all these kind of arts has only one aim. What is this? Like the old ocean has one test which is salty, all this aim in Buddha is to dissolve suffering and the cause of suffering. To reach nirvana means a stage, a situation in your heart which is free and liberation. The happiness. This way, this path, you can call what you want. It has an aspect of religion, if people believe, the normal people who didn't study in the Himalayas or Thailand or like this, because it's free, they can do what they want. We don't make some rules. You can do this, you can do that. Why? Because it's not religion. You can see in Thailand or Asia, like traveling videos, the people has a big thing and oil and people burning cooking small animals from the sea. Wow. It's one of the worst things that you do, killing small animals in Buddhist way. And then you see 1 or 2 monks working in mindful steps. You think the monk will go and saying, don't do this? No. Why not? This is not Buddha's style. Very important in the world. Buddha's style means if you are vegetarian, great, but let me eat my sausage and my steak. I leave you in peace, you leave me in peace. If you drink water, very nice, but I prefer wine. This is Buddha style. No one asks what is right, what is wrong. Everyone goes. Even in the Catholic tradition, I teach a lot in Catholic centers in Switzerland. There was the Holy Benedict. The Benedict was very strong monk. He made the rules and he said, don't eat afternoon like this. And one monk, he couldn't stay without eating. He was sitting there alone and eating. And the Holy Benedict went to him and eat with him. I mean, even in a Christian tradition, there were very high spiritual monks who know this kind of Buddha style. Because everyone has to start where he was. So we don't make any rules because it's not religion. We don't say this tradition. Once, somewhere in the Middle East, a guy climbed up a mountain, and this man disappears. No one knows where he went. Like clouds and foggy in the top of the mountain. And he comes down and he shows a list. So what people can do, what don't kill, don't steal, the 10 rules. Oh, wow. The democracy people say, wow, did you have a parliament? And the parliament people discuss what we are allowed to drive 30 kilometers or 50. Is a democracy or is a dictator when some guy says what to do? He said, no, I don't have a democracy sitting there. I have Oh, I made a talk with God. Who is God? 5-6 years ago, now I don't like this. To join interreligious discussion in Switzerland or Germany. And one man, he said after lunch to me, he says, Loten, I tell you something, don't ask what is God. I said, okay. I said, I know now. It's like art. What is art? You know, you throw away your trash is art. Wow. Now Tibetan art is easy. I can explain you exactly like this, how it makes, how it should make. The painting is nice, but modern art, you have no idea. They put somewhere a chair and it's art. So I will not ask what is God. For us, Buddhism is very funny. You cannot ask, is something, is not something, is something. So, but they say, no. I met God, and God told me, you should not kill, you should not steal. Wow, it's very funny. You should come up like this idea. In Asia, we don't have in any kind of this idea. Not the most people in the human being in the world has like this idea. All the people from Hawaii to the islands, to New Zealand, to the shamanic tradition from Africa, to the Siberia, to Tibet, Mongolia. Wow, we listen to the nature in the Amazonas. We listen to the flower, we listen to the snake. In Hawaii, we listen to the stone. In Japan, they say kami, means all is living creation. This is shamanism. This is one of the oldest religion of human being. We have no idea something saying, someone says you cannot. So what I'm telling you is to harm others, to kill something, these actions, ethical actions, it's actually same, but we don't say this story. Why not? Because the Buddha says, my teaching I will call Dharma. Dharma. No. The Buddha was not Buddhist. Why not? The Buddhist term Buddhist doesn't exist. The Buddha was not Hinduism, because the word Hinduism is given from foreigner people to the Indian people, saying this is the religion of people who live in the Indus River. The Indian people themselves, they called Sanatana Dharma. Dharma means the law of the nature. And the Sanatana means the Sanatana means forever, the one truth of nature. And Buddha don't say like this because there is not one truth. There are many truths. There are vegetarian, there are meat eater. They say Buddha Dharma. The nature, law of the nature, how I see this. This is very sympathetic. I see this. I like the food which is hot and lot of chili, that you cry after the food. This is my taste. And then there's another people that don't like any chili. This is also okay. Because from the view of Buddha, yesterday we were talking about Buddhist psychology. There is no objective reality. This is the way we say Yogacharya, the only mind school which is still very strong in Japan. This school says there is not objective reality. If you put here in the middle of this space, in a vase, a beautiful flower. This flower is white color, but we put here in a vase, flower, red color, yellow color, green color, like this. And then we invite all living creatures, the two legs, human being, the four legs, the cow, the birds, the butterfly, the frog, the kangaroo, and we say, now you watch this flower. What you see? All they say, yeah, see, I see, I see, I see. But do you think if you watch a yellow flower, human beings see yellow? And this guy who give the honey, what's the name?
Bee.
Bee. The honey man, the bee. You think he will see the yellow? And the butterfly? And the kangaroo? For sure. All the animals see the color different. So even in the medicine, there is a three principle. Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Your Pitta is not in the harmony. You see yellow and red color different than other people who have a low and weak Pitta. So seeing means you can only see that what your eye consciousness allows you. So now I ask you, what is reality? Even in the modern day science, they are going more and more in this way of looking from the Buddhist view. Because we can see a color only while there is a light. Even the color is there and the room is black, we can see nothing. Even it doesn't matter if you have eyes or not. So it depends a lot, the structure, the outer structure, how it is. And mainly it is influence, how you see things, how you meet people, on your karmic imprint. Yesterday I told you, when I see in Switzerland the snow mountains, my heart opens because I grew up in a snow mountain area. And people grow up a place where you have ocean. When they see ocean, wow, their heart will open. And first time, when I was met the ocean, I was very surprised. The water is salty. I never had this experience. I said, wow, this water tastes strange. Even no one told me the water is ocean is salty. Only you make the experience and you go in the waves and you have the water in your tongue. You make the experience of the ocean. Therefore, the Buddhism is not philosophy. Philosophy is describing something. Buddhism is, if you like to know what is ocean, go into the ocean. You feel. In Buddhism, mind training, Buddhist psychology is to treat yourself. And if you are always jealousy, and the mind training said, try to be happy if other people are happy. This is only one sentence. This is only to say, ocean is big, it is salty. Doesn't work anything. But you have to go into the wave. Next time the jealousy comes to the neighbor, they have a much bigger house, a nicer house. You try to be happy about this neighbor, that they have so beautiful house. And all the trouble of the house, asking the people to make the window, the problem of the water, all these small problems that makes you problem, they have happiness, you have. So this is the Buddhist way, how you think. So, especially the human beings is influenced by the concept. How you grow up, how is your environment, and how is your culture. And from this cultural influence, also you develop how you see the things, how you feel. There is no objective reality. And because the reason how you feel the outer world, it influences your situation in your mind. If your mind is filled with loving, wisdom, energy, and everything you see is color and beautiful. If your mind is with jealousy, hateness, even the best food, it doesn't taste. This is simplified the Buddhist psychology in the everyday life. Therefore, if you develop yourself the way how you see the world, you will change the world. Also, His Holiness Dalai Lama says, peace start always by yourself. Peace started always by yourself. If you create this silence and peace in your heart, it goes to your partner, it goes to your neighboring, it goes to the country. Even in the Charter of United Nations is written, war started in the thinking. War started of the thinking of the people. And then we have today, we will practice the Dakini praxis of meditation with a drum. The drum meditation was developed an enlightened woman 10th and 11th century in Tibet. When she was born in South Tibet, with 4 and 5 years old, she could recitate mantras. When she was 13, 14, 15 years old, she didn't learn any Indian language, but she could understand the old Indian language, which is the language of Buddhism, different than Tibetan language. And she was the reincarnation of the Dakini of wisdom, the wisdom Dakini. There is 5 wisdom Dakini. We have the Dakini, Lokana Dakini, Pandara Dakini, the Mamaki, the Ratnatara, and the Tara Dakini. These 5 Dakinis represent 5 wisdom. The wisdom, the absolute wisdom, the distinguishing wisdom, the mirror-like wisdom, the wisdom of one task, and the wisdom of fulfillment. And all these five wisdom is hidden in our heart and mind. It is like a diamond. When you find a diamond, you will find a stone. And outside of the stone, you cannot see the light and beauty of this diamond, which is covered inside, hidden inside. And you bring this stone to a man, to a woman who know how to bring the light out of this. And the action, how you rope and do that the five lights of diamonds come out is the yoga. The yoga of mind, the yoga of brain, the yoga of body. And what is the result? Then you have a beautiful diamond. And inside of us, of all of us, we have these diamonds. The true nature of this stone is diamonds. From the outside, you cannot see. The other picture in the classical India is like this. We are all lotus. And we are all lotus in a small sea, in the garden, in the park. Some lotus is already opened in the sky, and some lotus flower still in the water, and the water is normally dirty. This is the world. In the world, we have wars, sicknesses, problems, always, since Buddha and since before. In the Jesus time, the same. But from the dirty water, the flowers come up, it opens, and after this, all the dust will go away. Because lotus flower is symbol of pureness. It is the flower of wisdom in all old cultures like Egyptian, India, in the East. Because lotus is the flower of the female principle. And the action, grow and open. Indian word is Buddha. Buddha is like a flower, it opens. And we are all lotus. We are all lotus. And the question is, how can we open? Inside is the seed of the lotus. We are still closed and deep into the dirty water of the world with the worries, weakness, dampness, monkey mind, everything we have. And what is the main hindrance? Laziness. Yeah, laziness. What is the opposite of laziness in Tibetan? The happiness to the positive result of our action. When we are happy, when we wake up and walk 100 meters near the sea, wow, the result is fresh. So always when we lazy think and the positive result of our action and do the first step, like sport, Perhaps the 10 minutes is the most difficult thing. After 15, 20 minutes, our flow, it comes. And the flow, if you are climbing mountain, you are served, we meditate. Xinjiang is the highest stage of the 9th stage of shamatha. Without first means in the 8, you need some effort. In the 9th stage, you don't need any effort. It just flows in the meditation. You have the happiness when you meditate. You have the happiness if you do good things, helping others, like Mother Teresa. Living in a really one of the crazy place, Calcutta. You can't imagine how dirty and chaos Calcutta is. It's not split. Yeah, but she is more happy there than living somewhere other place. If the flows is coming. And that is the power of humanity. This is the power, we are human. And the human has the strong brain, the 6th consciousness, more than an elephant. Elephant is very clever, find water. But in the whole, human being's brain is crazy. Like a Stephen Hawking, he is blocked in his chair. He can't move, but his mind traveled more and far than all of us. And our mind has no limitation. Our body has limitation. You are jogging or running. I mean, you can't jog as fast like a kangaroo or the other leopard. No, it's finished. You have to incarnate as a leopard, but a human is not possible. Your body shows you the limit. But in the development of your mind, there is no limitation. You can develop your highest development of your mind is Buddha. The highest development of your mind is Buddha. And this mind is the creator of everything, especially of your life. So we make a break, 20 minutes till 20 minutes past 10, past 11. So we were talking about the European spiritual culture. I told you like 2 weeks ago in Knidos, in Turkey. What does mean Turkey? The place what is now in Turkey has a lot of great old civilizations. And that old time, the civilization is the European civilization with the Greek culture. And the Greek culture has a big influence in the Buddhist art. Actually, who invented the Buddha statue that you can see everywhere, Buddha statue like this? It's a European culture. It is not Asian culture. I told you in the art history, the Indian culture is normally to remember, and the Buddha was the stupa, is one of the oldest in the art archaeological discovery. And actually in Indian, everything was destroyed after invasion of Islam. All the country, Pakistan was Buddhist country, Bangladesh was Buddhist country. It started invasion of Islam from the Middle East through Pakistan, which is more like a neighbor country for the Saudi Arabian, and they went further, and also it went to the Middle East, and from the Middle East power also try to spread the Islam to Europe, to Spain, and the Pope, the Vatican, stopped militarily the invasion of Islam. We called in the history the Crusade. The warriors of the Christian kings, they stopped the spreading of Islam in the European countries. In the Central Asia, Tibetan troops and Chinese troops together stopped the invasion of Islam to the Asian countries. In the past time, Tibet was not weak like now. Tibet was one of the most powerful military power in Central Asia in the early Middle Age. And therefore, the spreading of Buddhism, it comes from China. In the 7th century, in the dynasty of Tang dynasty, the capital is Chang'an, and we have a lady who come from Xi'an, a very holy place for us. And one Chinese princess came to Tibet, and she brought Buddhism to Tibet. And exactly the historical reason we don't know, but what we know, as far as we know, Tibetan history, Chinese history, first the Chinese emperor, they tried to protect the barbarians. Even the name Tibet is Arabic Tibet. It comes from Chinese word Tufan. Tufan means the barbarian, the barbarian. The barbarian, the Roman calls the Germans the barbar because they were talking a language with like only blah, blah, blah. You can understand. And therefore, first we were fighting. First, Tibet, Mongolian, and Turk, and Tangut and Mongols tried to invade China, or not invade, but rope China. And they built the Chinese wars to protect. So it's not the Chinese army the first who went to Tibet. We are the first Tibetan, Mongolian, and Turk people invade China. And then we were fighting, and then the one strategy is, even in Europe, if you have a big power, big challenge, normally through marriage, you can bring some peace and some stability. And therefore, the Chinese emperor sent a princess to Tibet. On this princess, we think she is an incarnation of the Tara. And she says, first, she was not willing. She met the minister, and she thought, when the minister looks so great, this man has power, this man has charisma. When the minister looks like this, perhaps his king is not that bad. I mean, she has no power to say no. And she thought, oh, there is some hope. Even if barbar, these people has a character, the minister. Gar, he called Gar. Great minister went to China to deal this situation. And she said to his father, when I have to go in this far place where the barbar people lives, I need something what I can pray, what can put my emotion in prayer. Please give me this Buddha statue. And then she got a Buddha statue, which is the most holy statue in Lhasa, where I was born. This is Tibetan capital, 3,600 meter high, beautiful landscape, and they built the first Tibetan temple with a Chinese Buddha. And the history says this Buddha is not made in China. It was also a present of Indian king to the Chinese emperor. And the princess, knows exactly how important this Buddha statue is. And so this Buddha statue come to Tibet and it started. Like this, how it comes, the Buddha statue. In the time of the Alexander the Great from Macedonia, Greece, he went and further. He went to Egypt and he was initiated by the priest of the Egypt. Napoleon went to the Egypt and he bombed some temple. He was not initiated. He has not this third eye, but Alexander the Great has this eye. And they built in Egypt also temple for him. And then he went further, and he went Indus. He went to India. And with him, not only warriors of Greece, also philosophers, lots of educated people was with him. And these people, first they hear from a philosophy, from a kind of a culture of thinking which denies the Atman, a soul, and which denies a creating God. And saying, that's very interesting. There is a kind of religion, philosophy. They said there is no God. How can they explain? And then this very educated Greece people was studying first time the Buddhist teaching. And then discovered there were lots of similarity with Plato, Socrates of the idea, the idea. Idea is the idea in the Greek philosophy, Plato, Socrates, that we are not free from our decision. There is some idea of something. It is nominal. It is from our language, from our thoughts, we make something. And this idea of a situation, of a thing, has an influence of our decision and giving name. So there discovers interesting parallel, some kind of Greece culture, thinking, philosophy. And then after a few hundred years after this, the European people built 4 cities near northern Pakistan, Kashmir, east of Afghanistan. 4 great Greece cities in this area. And one of these cities, there was one of the most beautiful cities in that time for the travelers, for the business people, for the culture. And there was a Greece king, Milandia. This Greece ruler invited one of the most famous, best Buddhist master for talking, for exchange the idea. He invited him, the Milandia, the king invited Sarasena. The Sarasena was the great Buddhist master, like a Dalai Lama or Thich Nhat Hanh at that time. And this discussion between the king and the Buddhist master, it became a book. And this book is one of the oldest Buddhist book about explaining the idea of Buddhism. It was in the style of Greece, question and answer. Very clear, logically like this. Once asked the Greek king to the monk, says, "Who are you?" And the monk says, "I am Sarasena, Your Majesty." But the Sarasena, it's only my name. But this I doesn't exist. It can be another name and hundreds another name, but it's just name. Because the king asked, "Who are you?" And he said, "My name is Sarasena, but I doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. An ego, I, an individual, doesn't exist." And the king says, "Wow, what surprising. If there is no ego, one I, who is standing in front of me and talking with me?" Then the Sarasena monk says, "Listen, the educated man, the nobleman of Greece, listen, the monks who are here. I will ask, Your Majesty, how you came here to this place where we're now discussing. I came here on feet, touching the sand and the stone on the ground. How you came here to this place?" And the Greek king says, "I came here in a wagon." Heißt es Wagen? Kutsche, wie heißt es auf Deutsch? Auf Englisch? Chariot. A chariot, yeah. In a chariot. I don't come with the feet, I came in a chariot. And then the monk says to the king, "Majesty, when you say to your people, put the chariot in the part, the wheels on the side, the other part on the side, and when I ask you, is there a chariot, what do you say?" The king says, "No, there is no chariot. If you have a car and put the wheels other side, the motor other side, and there is no car." And then the monk says again, "If the Majesty says to your people, please build this part of a car or chariot together. If they build together, when I ask you, is there a chariot?" The king says, "Yes, there is a chariot." Exactly like this is all nature. The individual I, the nature, everything. If you put this in the part, we cannot find I. If I search me, I have the lung, the kidneys, the liver, my body, my leg, my head. When I put this by side, I cannot find these people, Sarasena. My body in the part, I cannot find myself. Even my name is Sarasena. And when I put my mind, which Buddhists think there is no soul, no Atman, you cannot find anything. Because you have the five senses, the sense of seeing, the sense of hearing, taste, sense, and the intellect. So you put then the seventh, the ego, and the eighth, the alaya, vijnana, you put beside, you cannot find an individuum. So like this, it goes the questions of nirvana, development, patience, big, high emotional qualities in a beautiful discussion. So after this four, we call this art history Indian Greek, Indo-Greek art, which is the oldest in Asia, from Sri Lanka, Burma, China, Korea, all are Pali style, Gupta style, goes back, and it goes to Indo-Greek style. In the Indo-Greek, then they started, and then these Greece cities become the first Buddhist kings. So much earlier than the Asian people become Buddhist was European people, Greece people. And these Greece people are thinking, in our culture, we have always statues in the Greece Roman culture. And then they made the first Buddha statue, looked to the Apollo. Therefore, Buddha is a very nice shape of body. Of course, when the Buddha after went to China, Chinese food is really good, and after it became this, and smiling and well-fooded. But in India, it's like a Greece style. The Buddha very athletic. This is the art history. And from there, it spread today, nowadays, through the spreading of yoga. In India, we have a great man, President Modi, very educated. He is a yogi. He go to the Himalaya, meditate, and he is interested what is Indian culture and civilization. And though through spreading yoga, lots of people also know, because lots of the philosophy knowledge later, after, in the time a bit before British colonial style time, and a bit after, all Indian religious movements was influenced by Buddhism. Why? Because we Buddhism, we study and we explain. We don't say believe, this is like a mystery of Shakti, Shiva, Vishnu. We study. We don't bail a bell, and we study 10 years. And the knowledge is deep because it is Indian knowledge. It is the Veda. The wisdom of Veda is the mother. The Ganges is the mother culture in the Himalayas. And also in the Indian mystery, says when the time is bad, worse and worse, people has more jealousy, hateness to other people instead of love. And the bad time is come, all the sacred yogis, yoginis go back to the Himalayas. And the Himalaya is the place of Tibetans, where we come from. This is the place of wisdom. Therefore, when I was doing this retreat, tralala, with this one, tralala. So also this one, you need a lot of preparation. So the first, this style of meditation with a drum, invented for the personal practice of meditation, sadhana. Even in Kundalini Yoga, we call sadhana. These are personal practice, meditation yoga. And this sadhana from this lady, even from her young age, she felt she is the wisdom Dagini, the wisdom Buddha. Because the nature of Buddha, you cannot say it is male or it is female. It's beyond that. It is transcendental. And even in the Buddhist thinking, if someone is in this life man, or next life reincarnate as a woman, and this life is a woman, next life is a man, it's always changing. So you can't say the Buddha nature, the enlightened potential and power in our heart is female or male. But in the spiritual way of Tantra that we are practicing, is a very, very strong to do with our outer body. With our outer body. The body we have here with the arms and legs and heart, and the outer body as a human, we have a man and we have a human, a female. So this one is to do with yoga. Tantrism has seized the importance of the body. In the classical Buddhism, when we're doing shamatha, vipassana, the body is not important. Important is your inside. Your meditative state is important. And the mind, you cannot say is a female mind and a male mind. But our mind is in our body. What does it mean? Our mind is in our body. Sometimes our body is like a prisoner. It's like a prisoner in our body. Because the body gets old, it is pain in the body, and the body feels like this, and the body feels like that. And that the spiritual tradition of Tantra says, no, I show you the way through your body to your inner inside. This is special in the Indian civilization. Only it happens in Tantrism. So all the yogic tradition, any kind of yoga you do in Indian tradition, from Hatha yoga to other, it is tantric way of spirituality. It is the tantric way of spirituality, because this yoga system is saying my body is important. My body I can use for inner development. So when we talk from the outer body, we have inside, below your navel, we have the female principle, the female energy. This works like yin and yang, female and male energy, it works. Because when we are talking about our body, how it started to become our body. To become a body, you need two bindus, two essence. The essence of the father and the essence of the mother. In the mother essence, we call blood, just blood. And blood is in Tantra, which is very holy thing. Very holy thing. It is the energy of the mother. And some Dakinis, we said, blood drinker. She drinks blood, or she has a blood in her lips. This is the holy. The blood symbolized the wisdom. wisdom of emptiness. What is emptiness? I told you the discussion between the Saracena and the Greece king. There is nothing when we look in my body, in the thing, in the table. When we put this outside, in one piece, we cannot find. It is shunyata. Shun means actually in Indian culture, zero. Zero means if I have a plate and I say in this plate is no banana, no apple, any fruits, it is zero. Says there's nothing. So it sounds like this, but in the Indian thing, when we say write the numbers in the paper, in European people say, oh, write Arabian numbers. Arabic numbers means 1, 2, 3. The number instead of Roman number is writing like funny thing. They write the number. In Europe, say this is Arabic number. No, when you go to Arabic country, they will say this is Indian number. Indian invented. And most especially, India invented or find out the meaning of zero. All the culture, they can say 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 apple, 2 apple, 3 apples. But the secret of 1 is there before there is a 0. So what is defined in the mathematics? What is 0? 0 is the 5th direction of direction. How many directions we have? 4, east, west, south, north. Indian culture, the center is the most important direction, the center. Therefore, the 0 is shun. Because there is a 0, we can say there is 1. When you say 1, it's easier to count 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is the source of everything. Even we say 0. This we call shunyata. This is the highest wisdom in Buddhism. Highest wisdom, knowledge in Buddhism. Because in the first day, we are talking about 8 paths, 4 noble truths and 8 paths. In the 8th path, we say the right insight. What is right insight? It is the right wisdom. What is right wisdom? Symbolized through the 5 female Buddhas, it is shunyata. Shunyata, the emptiness. It is the ground of the Buddhism in China. It is the ground wisdom of the Buddhism in Japan, in Tibet, and everywhere, from Sri Lanka to Burma, because it is the Buddha's wisdom, how Buddha sees in the world, in the dharmas. So in this practice, when we got as a human being, we have our body. And this is your choice. Either you are prisoner in your body. Your body is like a prison. Boy, you have problem, your arm is too long, your finger is too thick, your ear is too big, and your lips are too small. Wow. Or you see, wow, I am perfect. And my body is not the source of problem, pain, getting old, and death. My body is the symbol of universe. All the universe energy is in my body. If you think like this, you are tantric practitioner. You are real yoginis. You are real yogi. And then says, in my body, there is the energy of Shakti, Kundalini, Kunda. Kunda is the natural happiness. Most of the happiness in life is when you have desire, wish, you become what you want, you are happy, but it doesn't rate long. After a few months, it's gone. You have beautiful room. First week, next week, and after it become normal. It is the same happiness as you have a small room before. So Because every happiness, it comes through your wanting mind. It lasts not long. The most happiness you can feel, the gunda, when you stay in the sunset near a beautiful beach and wide ocean. And you become your mind and heart, become one with the ocean by beautiful sunset. And you forget everything around yourself. And you forget everything, the past and future. You feel only the beautiful sunset by the ocean. That's Kunda. Or you watch in a clear night the full moon, and you forgot everything around you. And this feeling, because the nature is the mother nature, they give you, they heal you. This is a Gunda. So if you don't connect with your female energy, Gunda, you can have everything. You can have the best partner, you live in the most beautiful house, you have the best job, still you feel empty. Why? You don't connect with this female energy. And this meditation, Chöd, gives you the power. And it is not a meditation, it is go with your intellect, understanding, and brain. It is the female energy which taught magic, the only mother we call. She invented this kind of meditation to calm your body energy, to discover your Gunda, female energy. You just have to connect your whole female mother energy with the vibration of the melody of the drum. And this melody comes hundreds and hundreds years ago from the mother in a vision. How you see a Dakini in the vision, the great masters in the Himalaya, they have this melody of the chanting. It's a vision of the energy of the Dakini sacred. And you just feel and connect with your heart and body. Deyata Omo Gade Gade Para Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhi Soha Deyata Omo Gade Gade Para Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhi Soha Deyata Omo Gade Gade Para Gade Para samagade bodhi soha deyata omagade gade para samagade bodhi soha deyata omagade gade para samagade bodhi soha. Hey! 저도 스문게네 소문대시 세계 주바라 쇼메 삼번 타벨라 바기 헤이 랑게제보 베마 예메딘 라마조다 예메라게 남바도지바모 근도말 자예지고 윤배 그자지 천국가 장가예 레바진 조종제들을 배경예지 제모자르브세 바베 예공연경 도쇼 내송도 예계 손자호예 외세계 정신은 도지는 조물 시조럽 전소예 용고 So then we make a 20 minutes break. So it's very important when you hear this, because my master in Switzerland, he helped a lot people with lots of fearness in the heart. He helped 2 or 3 ladies who has a big sicknesses and worrying, and he helped. And she always come. I can remember when I was much younger than now, and once a week, and this lady was years and years happy. And anyway, we die old. So dying is normal. But the question is how you live these years where you live. And this is the most powerful. Lots of sometimes, like psychotherapy work, if you have lots of fearness, anxiety, lots of this ritual has so much power to clean. When you feel the energy of the drums, they will flow the energy of darkness, and you will purify. You will purify the fearless in your heart. So, Rina, what is time now?
Now it's 12:16.
12:16. Okay, like 20 minutes,
20
right?
minutes.
Yeah.
35.
Yeah. So is there a question
Yes, there is
in
a
the
question
online? Yes, yes,
from Sylvia.
yes.
Sylvia,
I have the.
the question is right here. Yeah, they have question on the screen. But I don't think so. So the question is, what is reincarnating? When there is no such like Atman, or what or how you call with other words? What is reincarnating? This is only question from online.
Yeah. So if there is two problems will arise. Two problems will arise if there is no Atman. Because we all, I told you once, in Tibetan we say, learn even you will die tomorrow. So that means there is some place where you keep your karmic seeds. Everything you do, good actions like wisdom, love in your heart, it is kept somewhere. It is a place where in the Buddhist thinking you keep somewhere. This is the eight consciousness. The eight consciousness. We say the consciousness where you have all this information is kept. Alaya Vijnana. There is kept all the karmic informations, and that we go even after the death. There is no individual self in Buddhist thinking. There is no individual self. But there is a place where all the karmic information clashes. I told you when you cut onion, you have to still smell. This information seeds is in Buddhist thinking is solved or kept in the Alaya Vijnana. In the Alaya Vijnana. Even when we talk about incarnation, I say, someone says, in my past life, I was a man in Canada. In my past life, I was a woman in Africa. I was. That I doesn't exist. Even in this life, when you tell me, 6 years ago, I was in India. We all think, oh, that's very plausible. 6 years ago, I was in India. You think the person who 6 years ago in India, it is the same person now. You think your fingers, your lungs, your heart, there are some organs in our body, it completely renewed in the body, doesn't stay the same. You think the cells of our body is still the same? No. Also, our body is always renewing. So, therefore, there is a kind of continuum. It goes further, but every day, every year is changing. In case of our body. What is our brain and thinking or chit the mind. 90% of nowadays, the best neurological research in the science, they don't know how it works with thinking. How it comes, how it works, no one knows. It's just speculation in the science. We don't know this. So, therefore, the Buddhist thinking is there is a continuum. Like we are continuum from one to the next. So there is a kind of continuum when we reincarnate, even there is no Atma, no soul. Once I can tell you small anecdote. Exactly this question was asked in a Japanese Zen monastery. There was a young monk and he was thinking, oh, the master is talking about emptiness and there is no soul, there is nothing, it's just empty. And he was thinking, what will happen with me when I die? And he made master in the temple and asked master, please explain me where I will go when I die. Where I will go when I die. And the master saw this boy has a candle in the hand. And he was asked this question, where I will go when I die, and he blow up this candle, he make like this, and said, tell me, where is the fire goes now? Then I will tell you where you go when you die. And he was looking, the fire is not there because the candle is already blows. And the young monk says, master, no, it's gone. And then after a while, the master again, he put on the fire. Wow, the light is there. If there is completely gone, then you cannot fire it again. The possibility is there. Therefore, the candle is there. Only the same question. Is this the same candle? It is the same candle as before I blow up the fire? Wow. For that, you study 10 years. At least 3 years. 10 hours a day. This is the difficulties Buddhist study. Like a Greek philosophy. You cannot understand what the Greek philosophy of thinking and cold civilization can understand in one. But this is an example. How about Buddhist thinking? There is in the world a continuum. Therefore, we make a circle, like a mandala. Like a Zen, we draw a circle. If you ask, in the circle, where it starts, where it ends. If there is a line, you draw a line. From there to here, you can say, this is the beginning, this is end. But if you draw a circle, it's everywhere beginning, everywhere is end. And the modern science in the nature is a string. The nature is kind of string. So you cannot say. The people say, wow, how it started, the universe. One say, wow, the God created. But don't ask what is God. They say, oh, in the beginning it was a big bang. Okay, it makes bang, but what is before the bang? Even in the science, difficult question. What is before? They say, and before the Big Bang, there is no space, there is no time. Oh, okay. This is like a question or explaining what is God. There's everything is speculation. But Buddha don't like speculation. Buddha is like Mandela. Buddha is Dalai Lama. These guys like practical things. They like to change. It is unjustified, which is occupation. They will do something. Buddha is like a Gandhi. He will change something. So you have to think practically. Then when you think practically, what is coming after the death, if there's incarnation or is there no incarnation, doesn't matter. And one Tibetan great master was asked by a people and saying, how my heart and mind should be in the time of my death. Look, this is not a philosophical question. It is the question, the rule one, who people have this, we all will die one day. Which is our mind and heart situation? And this master says, keep pure love in your heart. Keep pure love in the heart. When you keep pure love in the heart, where you make big philosophy, what comes after the life? If there is an incarnation and your mind is pure, full of loving kindness, you will be the best incarnation. If there is the heaven, you will get the first seat. If there is heaven or no heaven, it's a speculation. Don't lose your time. Drink cola and go work near the sea. Enjoy your life. Take a deep bath in the ocean. Don't waste your time with speculation. That is the holy teaching of Buddha. So now you have some question?
There is one more question.
Oh, okay, please. Yeah, please.
Is it possible for an individual who has a family reach nirvana because of all attachment having a family life?
In the Buddhology, in the history of Buddhism, 2,500 years ago, in that time in Bharat, in the great land of India, hundreds of rajas, based on the culture of Veda, it was fashions. There is a movement we call samana. Samana is like people leave the family and left the family and they live in the nature. Even Jesus was many years in the desert, alone in the desert. You have only the desert and the sky, in the night, the millions of stars. So this tradition nowadays in Europe, in the Greece, in the monasteries, the monks who live years separated from the family, from the people. This is Samana tradition we have now in the teaching of Jesus and in the teaching of Buddha. Nearly only in these two traditions, we have the tradition of Samana, the tradition of ascete. And these ascetes are the monks in Catholic, in Orthodox, in Buddhist tradition. Without family, leave everything behind you. So it was a kind of spiritual fashion in India about 2,500 years before. Because the tradition in the Hindu tradition, the Brahman man has a family. He works as a farmer, he has a family, but even the Brahman, when his children can work, the girls and boys of his children can work, the Brahman should go to the Himalayas. Then you don't have to be at the home or in the modern time in a house where only old people lives and waiting from breakfast to lunch and from lunch to dinner. What is for the dinner? No, you go to the Himalayas. You do yoga practice, you meditate. This is a Vedic tradition. They have a family. So this is a classical Buddhism. The Buddha chose the way of Samana. He was the great Samana. He left everything and alone, and also without a house, a monastery. In the first time of Buddha, he never stayed in the same place 2 times, 2 nights. He always working, moving, work. This is the old tradition of escape. So there, this tradition, you don't need any families, anything that you attach. So then in the time of Buddha, a Raja invited great master with lots of monks, and they give him food and invited and was great supporters of the monks community. And this Raja asked the great master, Master, I am so impressed of Buddhism with the monks and everything practice, but I cannot follow you because I love my elephants. I love my jewelry collection. I like everything what I have, my ministers and everything in the palace I like. If there is a spiritual way that I can practice without giving up the elephants, without giving up the horse, because Buddha has his favorite horse. He was crying. He has left his horse and his friend. And I like to keep all my horses, collections, and everything. If there is a spiritual path, please teach me. And then this master started. He said, Majesty, what is all your own in the palace, the elephants, the ministers, the everything? What is the most thing you love and you attach? And then the Raja showed him like these ornaments, a ring. This one I love. This is the most precious jewel, and every day I watch and I feel, wow, so impression of that. And then the master said, then I will show you a path, a sadhana, a yoga, a meditation in the shamatha, means focus. Normally we focus on the breath. And this master showed him, focus on your jewel ring. And he was doing this sadhana meditation and he became enlightened. So this is the story. So you don't have to give up in Tantric Buddhism, nothing. Tantra Buddhism is the way you don't have to give up nothing. But some people like to give up lots, then go to Sri Lanka, Thailand, Burma. So in Buddhism, you can choose. So you choose what you like and leave the other in peace. Don't criticize, oh, I don't think Buddhism, they drink alcohol, they have horse, elephants, my way is best and I have nothing. No, this is not Buddhist style. So the Mahayana Buddhists, the Tantric Buddhists leave the monks in Sri Lanka, Burma in peace, and the monk in Burma, Sri Lanka were very strict, leave the Tantric people in the Himalaya in peace. So you have both possibilities. So could you tell me the time again? Oh, if you live too long in Switzerland, you have the watch inside. I live too long in Switzerland. Yeah, I told you. I don't need any watch. If you live too long in Switzerland, you become a watch, a walking watch. So thank you very much. Yeah, don't be stop here. Thank you. Mhm. Please.
Thank you very much for joining today's workshop, and I'll see you tonight at 7 o'clock for the meditation. Thank you.